I mentioned a lot in the last hour about New Hampshire Technical Institute and the trades, but in our studios, J-Dog, I believe, we are delighted to be joined by Amy West and Beth Wilkes to talk about science, something I did not, just to be candid and truthful, did not excel at, but science programs and how students can do research at New Hampshire Technical Institute, one of our great partners and sponsors. Amy and Beth, thanks for being with us. Good morning, New Hampshire, the Pulse of NH.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure. I always like to start with the basics. Tell us about yourselves and your stories and how you got to NHTI, how long you've been there, and things like that.
Sure. So I started adjuncting in 1999, fell in love with the place, and have been full-time for 18 and a half years. Absolutely love science. Not like you, I guess. I grew up enjoying science and wanting to be in the sciences, but it's not for everybody. But we love to try to get those students through whether they're interested in science or not. So we have a lot of resources available to students for success. We have open lab and drop-in lecture tutoring. We have math lab for chemistry and physics as well as math. We have writing center. We have study solutions lab, all kinds of support to help every type of student in the sciences.
And your colleague, tell us about your story and the path to NHTI.
I have been full-time at NHTI for about 16 years, and I also did some adjunct teaching prior to that. I also, unlike you, really love the sciences. And
that's why you're doing what you do, right?
Exactly. So I taught biology. I had a little first career was genetic counseling, and then I fell into teaching and really enjoyed it. And am fortunate to have been able to teach classes that get to offer students research experiences and really try to hook them into loving science as well.
You know, I want to talk about let's talk about the research opportunities, and also how many programs under the science umbrella and how many students right now. I'm just curious roughly how, because some of these programs, I know we had the medical imaging folks on, and there was, I think, 150 in there. And that was anyone who's going into like ultrasounds, x-rays, CAT scans. But what about your program?
So we have 5 programs in our department. We have sustainable agriculture, biology, environmental science, and health and wellness. And so aside from having all of those programs and serving those students, we also are the department that services every student who needs a lab science. So all of our associate degree programs require one lab science at least, and so we serve all of those students as well. So it's in hundreds of students every semester come through our programs.
Awesome. Talk about the research opportunities and what does full-blown research mean? I mean, how wide and deep is this?
Well, we have a few different opportunities, and it's mostly the upper level science classes that we try to get students involved in. We're involved with a program called INBRE, which is a state-run NIH-funded research program. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to have a few students every semester that, if I can get them in, they will get a stipend, so they get paid to do research. Sometimes we partner with some of the 4-year institutions, usually UNH Manchester, if we do that. And then sometimes we just do research in our labs on our own, and the students get a year's experience with doing research, and then they get to present posters at a regional conference in the summer.
Interesting.
Yep.
No, keep going.
Okay. Well, so that's one thing. We have introduced into a couple of our science courses course-based undergraduate research where the students it's a program called C-phages, and students in one course will go through the process of discovering and isolating a phage, which is a virus that infects bacteria. And they spend a whole semester doing that discovery process. And then if they continue, if they're biology majors, they'll continue and take another course where they do what's called a genome annotation, where they figure out with me the gene sequences in the virus and functions, and try to determine functions of those genes. And these students also are often doing a capstone course where they will present with a poster and a presentation to our department.
And to the community.
And to the school, and the community, yes, to everybody.
Everybody's welcome to come to those. And actually, we'll have one of those exhibition of student work this April. So everyone is welcome to come to that. But you can hear the excellent work that Beth does with her students, and that's why she's won a couple of awards. One at NHTI, the 2024 Chancellor's Award for Teaching Excellence, nominated by her peers and chosen by her peers as the best for the year. And also, more recently, she received honorable mention for the 2025 Outstanding Instructor Award for the American Society for Microbiology. And so that's actually more of an international publication that recognized her work with undergraduate research.
You know what I love is, you typically think of science and like marine science or any kind of science, applied science, research as being, 4-year, bigger, whatever, institutions, and the fact that this is happening at New Hampshire Technical Institute, one of our top, actually the original of our 7 community colleges at this level, is pretty cool. And congrats to you on your accomplishments. When you mentioned in April some of the work of the students and you're going to be on display, just anecdotally, what are some of the coolest sort of science projects and work in the past that a student kind of dove into? Because I know sometimes these are seemingly innocent lanes, but if you are scientifically driven, it might be health related. It could be like an engineering application. It could be environment. It could be anything, right? I mean, science, using science and applied different. I mean, what are some of the cooler things that students at NHTI and you, the professors, have seen and done in projects?
Well, I can tell you this awards day and the exhibition of student work poster session involves many departments on campus. So it's not just those in natural sciences, biology, and environmental sciences, also from the engineering department. Those programs, we've seen some from nursing students as well. Math has some on display. So it's based on independent research or projects that students have done. So it's multidisciplinary, and I'll let Beth tell about some of the work that our students have done.
Right, so we have both biology students and environmental science students that do our capstone course, which are the students that will be doing these presentations. So for the biology, there's some of what I was talking about before, the phage or the virus research. We've done partnering with some other schools, some more like biotechnology type projects as part of larger projects. So we've had students working on looking at gene expression in pancreatic cancer was one big one. Our students presented on a piece of a big project.
Wow.
For the environmental science, we've had someone looking at the loon population in New Hampshire. We've had a student look at all of the, I'm thinking of Deb Kuhn and the endangered plants in the state. She did a large historical review of that.
Thinking about the watershed projects that we've seen students do.
We do a lot of watershed projects where they're given a lake from DES and evaluate the health of the lake and make a management plan.
So that's a good example where the state will come to you.
Yes, we have some partners. We work a lot with DES.
Merrimack County Conservation District as well.
I like I love loons, but I also think with development on the lakes and ponds, I think that's an interesting area. And the pancreatic cancer on the health side, I mean, I've had 2 people very close to me pass from that. It's just such a dreadful, tough cancer because, as you know, anyone you love or know, that's one of those that you hear this over and over again. Unfortunately, usually by the time they find it, and it's so internal and hidden that it's usually too late, even with immunotherapy stuff. So I applaud all of this. I want to go back to you 2 for a moment again. Amy West and Beth Wilkes, science, I guess what we call you, science professors or head of the science program at NHTI?
Science professors works for both of us. Thank you.
And I'll preface at the beginning when I said I'm intrigued by science more than math, but I do think, and you're educators, I'm not. And I'm passionate about education, and I'm proud. In fact, she's been on the segment. I have one of my kids is a special education teacher who spent time at New Hampshire Technical Institute. So I love education. What I'm saying is I think sometimes people, like you said, are just wired. Like I was talking earlier about the trades, and sometimes people like to just build and make stuff with their hands and their brain. Math and science, for me, were always more of a challenge and work. I had to work harder at it. And whereas language, history, political science, or just languages and history in particular just sort of came much easier to me because my interest was I'm more wired that way than numerically. But I think the science program and what you're both doing, how many collective years, Amy and Beth, have you had both at NHTI?
It's probably
34.
Higher than that. It's probably closer to 50.
Yeah.
And how, I was talking earlier about trades and careers and attitude, and, not everyone's happy with what they do in life. How important has NHTI been to both of you personally and professionally in your careers? I mean, do you love being there still? Do you love the energy and changes? I'm always impressed when I hear these stories about what's happening over there. Your college president, the energy. We had the big show and presentation with Mike Rowe there a year ago or so, November or whenever it was. 4,000 young people there. How important is NHTI to you both, personally and professionally?
Well, it's the reason we get up and go to work every day. The students, and once you start working there, you don't want to leave. There's such a community that of wonderful people in all areas of the college who are really driven and to help students be successful. Students who don't like science, the students who love science, all kinds, and so it is a passion every day.
Yes, I'll agree to that. And the students really keep you going. And you meet so many different students every single semester. And when you can help them advance in their education and their careers, it's really wonderful.
One of my favorite things is to get a student like you, Jack, who is concerned about taking science class, and to show them that they really can do it.
Yeah, well, it's never too late, so maybe I should enroll.
Come take a class.
You're welcome to come in and sit in anytime.
Would you just a recruitment message, would you say to someone out there looking to maybe teach part-time, work at the school, go visit, check the website? I mean, do you really would encourage people out there? They may think they may not have what it takes, and they may well, right?
Definitely. Please, we are looking for adjuncts all the time. So please reach out. Good
stuff. All right. Well, again, we appreciate you both coming in. I know you're in the Capital Region, New Hampshire Technical Institute. And before I let you go, April, you're going to have some of these projects on display virtually, online, in person at the college. Tell us about that. And sort of, is there a date attached?
We're looking because there's no date that's set yet. It's usually mid-April at some point, and it is an in-person event where awards are given out, student awards, and then following the awards ceremony is the poster session where folks can walk around, look at the posters, ask students questions about their work.
Awesome.
We usually post pictures of their posters on the website as well. But if you could come to the in-person event, it's really good energy and just so many people there, and the students are excited to share what they've been working on all year.
I'd love to. And also the profession, getting a job after your program, your students finding good employment opportunities?
Most of our students in our department are transferring to four-year colleges.
Yep.
And so that's really a success story for us is more for transfer. And one of the things that we tell prospective students is that one, we have a lot of articulation agreements, but two, there are four-year colleges that give tuition discounts to students who already have an associate's degree. So they come to us, they get an associate's degree, and then some colleges will take thousands of dollars off of the annual tuition just for having shown that they are successful.
Awesome.
With an associate's degree. We've also had some students get additional tuition discounts for having a high GPA, 3.5 or higher. And I'll tell you one amazing success story is we had a student who came through our environmental science program and completed the associate degree. And she had a very high GPA and then went to Tufts University for only $2,000 a year afterwards to finish her bachelor's program.
Wow, that's a great testimonial, great story. Hey, thank you both very much, Amy and Beth. New Hampshire Technical Institute, the most affordable of the 7 community colleges, on talking science and research. Good luck with your students. Thank you both for coming in. Thank you very much.